Sometimes doing the right thing and being at peace with people is really hard to do, isn't it? Paul wrote in Romans chapter 12, verse 18, if possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. That's not an easy thing to do. I'm going to give you a really good example of how difficult it can be to live at peace. We're going to go back to Genesis chapter 26. We're going to talk about Isaac. Now, Isaac, he'd been living in the land with Abimelech. Abimelech was the king, okay? So Isaac plants his crops. He gets this huge harvest. He becomes a very rich man. I mean, the dude is loaded. He's got cattle. He's got crops. He's got servants. He's got everything you want. But the Philistines were jealous of them, and they wanted Isaac gone. So what'd they do? They filled up his wells with dirt. Now, you got to have water. If you've ever seen Israel, if you've been to Israel, it is a very dry place. You need water. Well, they filled up his wells. And finally, Abimelech orders Isaac to leave. Now, mind you, Isaac was richer than Abimelech at this point. And Abimelech tells Isaac to leave. Isaac could have fought it. He could have said, no, I'm not going to leave. You leave. I got more power here than you do. But Isaac didn't do that. He went away to a place called the Gerar Valley. So you think he's going to be safe there, right? So he goes to the Gerar Valley, he sets up his tents, he settles down, and he reopened his father's wells because his father lived there before him. And he redug the wells, renamed them the same names that his father had given them. And then something interesting happened. Isaac's servants also dug wells in the Gerar Valley. They discovered a fresh water well. But the shepherds from Gerar, they said, that's our water. You can't have it. Now, again, Isaac was powerful. He had servants. He had money. He had everything. He was rich. And he could have run off the shepherds, but he didn't. What did he do? He named this well Esek, which means argument. And he let those shepherds have that well that was rightfully his, that he had dug. So his servants dug another well. But again, there was a dispute over the well. So Isaac named it Sitnah, which means hostility. And he moved on again. He abandoned that well. Isaac did. Isaac was powerful. He could have just wiped them out. But instead, he is a very peaceful man. So they went and dug another well. And this third well, in a place called Rehoboth, which means open space. That's what they named it, Rehoboth. It means open space. And Isaac said, at last the Lord has created enough space for us to prosper in this land. Now Isaac was already prosperous. And he realized that by being at peace with the people around him, he could prosper more. So you see, sometimes, many times, most of the time, okay, probably all the time, it's to your advantage to live at peace with the people who are around you. Don't fight, don't argue. You know, Jesus said if somebody hits you on one cheek, turn to them the other cheek. Now, that does not mean to be a doormat, but if you are humble and you give, you know, the giving and receiving is also a biblical principle. If you give, then you will receive. Jesus said, you know, the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. By giving people what they want, eventually you will receive. Here's a practical application of that I use myself frequently. You ever go out and you drive somewhere? You're on the freeway. Somebody wants to cut in front of you, let them. Somebody needs to merge, let them. When I'm driving down the road, if I see somebody coming on the freeway and I'm in the right lane, if there's room in the left lane, I'm just going to move over to the left lane, let them on. It doesn't hurt me to do that. If I am driving down the road and there's heavy traffic and somebody needs to pull out of a parking lot, if I can, I will stop and let them out. Why? Because there's times when I need to be let out. And I know the scriptural principle that if I let them out, eventually somebody's going to let me out when I need that space. So I just want to encourage you today to be giving, to live at peace with people. And as far as it's possible, don't argue with people. Live according to what the Bible says. Do what Jesus said. Take Paul's advice. Live at peace with people. I'll talk to you soon.